Well, hey there guys, yep, time again for another technique type video. Do we have to? Yes, take your nasty medicine. Yes, tastes good, nasty medicine, because actually it's good for you and you'll find out later down the road. Now these videos tend to be some of my least watched, but in my opinion most important, and that's technique and things like that, the hints and tips and stuff that I put out there. These are like the hints and tips and secrets of a 40+ year long guitar player. So whether it's worth anything or not, take it with a grain of salt, but this is my opinion, and I say to you guys, don't be a one-trick pony. Don't constantly play the same thing, the same style, the same way all the time. Mix up what you play. Now here's a case in point. This is all just off of one album. Right? So, how about go on from there? So all that right there is from the Beatles' White Album, if you aren't familiar with it. But the point being is how varied the music goes, from Helter Skelter to Honey Pie to Wild Honey Pie to Birthday to Blackbird to Rocky Raccoon to Revolution 9. It's just all over the map, and in my opinion one of the greatest albums ever. But one of the coolest things, the thing to me that makes it so great, is it's so varied. It's so varied. Now, this, in my opinion, is kind of where the wheat is separated from the chaff, right? This is where you go from, like, guitar player to musician, where you start studying more and more, not doing just one thing, but varying, even stuff you don't necessarily like. I've even written my own songs of styles that's not particularly my thing, but I wrote a song in that style. I've done that a few times. So it's just keeping that thing wide open, keeping it varied. Now let me give some other instances like what I'm thinking there. So let's go back into clean in here and let's think some more stuff. Can get more stratty than that, can you? Right? So even in your hard rock stuff, let's mix that up too, right? Why not? So you can go from like this. Right, to say stuff like this. Again, stuff that's just very mixed up. So, you know, change up, mix up. Funky rock stuff too, right? You know what I mean? So hopefully that kind of gets the point across, guys. You know, what are you interested in? What are your goals? Do you just want to kind of goof around, fart around, kind of learn a thing a little bit? Or do you want to take it a step further, or a step further than that, etc.? Vary what you're playing. Vary your styles, but be patient with yourself. Kick yourself in the butt and be patient with yourself at the same time. Now, I can tell you something, and I've studied in somewhat depth, if you want to call that, certain art forms, more than just music. And every art form I've studied, you learn the techniques and the foundation. You build that foundation, you learn all the technique, and then when you get to a certain level, they say, and then forget it all. Right? You're like, huh, what? But it's the absolute truth. But right now what you're doing is training your hands, you're training your ear, and you're just varying it up. Right, so you can play different stuff and maybe just not be a one-trick pony, as they say. Right, so moving on, the same thing, playing the same freaking thing all the time. You know, you get bored with it yourself. So mix it up. That's my advice. And I would definitely stress learning other music. Right, that's one of the big bonuses of playing covers, so-called, or just learning other songs, is to learn in that style. Right. That's a great way to learn. Fantastic way to learn. YouTube's a killer place to do it. And we have several songs that we have taught here, as maybe you know or maybe you don't know. Look at our playlist. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. All right, guys, we really appreciate you watching this video. Please let us know your opinions and thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, please check out some other videos. And if you like this one and others, please subscribe. We truly appreciate that. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.